everyone, my name is Minji Chang. I'm the Executive Director of Kollaboration and your host for our new interview segment called Coffee Break. I'm here with my great friend, talented director, Andrew Ahn of the Sundance Film Festival winning Spa Night.
Hello.
Hi, Andrew.
How's it going?
Good. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you for having me. I know
You've been on our podcast and I love it. This is we get the visuals now.
Yeah, I know. It's
You'll get to see your face.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah.
So how's it going? You've had a really busy year so far.
It's been good. Yeah, 2016 has been a lot of stuff already. You know, I mean, Sundance was just a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and
I can't believe that.
I know. It feels like a long time ago, but it was a really great experience.
Yeah.
The audiences were super, receptive to the film, and
so I hear.
It was just you were there.
I was there.
It was cool. It was super cool. Just to like this thing that I've been working on for so long to finally kind of share it with people. You know? It's like
that's got to be a huge, moment of like. Okay, here it goes.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, I think for many reasons we kept it really close. There are very few people who actually saw the film.
Yeah.
And then the premiere, it's like my parents were there. Like all the actors hadn't seen it.
I know. That was like Joe's thing, like his big thing that he hadn't even seen the movie before the premiere, which is crazy.
And so, it's like it was great to finally be able to share that with people and have people respond to it. Mm-hmm. It was kind of like sending your kid off to college. Like I remember like going to sleep after the first screening, the premiere screening, and just being like, oh, like my baby's out in the world now. It was I think that's what happens when it's something so much of yourself, into something and work on it for so long.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I'm curious. So I remember I actually got to meet your casting director way before I ever met you, and that's how I first heard about the movie.
Yeah.
And so how long, when did it first start? Like what was day one to, how long was that?
Yeah, so I got the idea for Spa Night from a friend of mine. He was telling me about how he had a hot hookup at a Korean spa. And like that was just like really crazy to me. And I heard that probably in 2011.
Okay.
So kind of from idea to now, it's been about 5 years. So, obviously like there were different phases. It always kept progressing.
Right.
It never quite felt like, it's like
A to B to C, like.
Yeah, it just kept going. I never felt like lost with it, It was just kind of one step forward, like keep going. So
great art takes time, guys.
Yeah.
That's Well, I've heard of there's so many, we've seen in the span of Hollywood and just filmmaking that some projects can take decades to come to fruition. That from the time you have the idea to having either technology or the right actors or whatever it is to making it. So
yeah, I mean, that was actually a big part of why we pushed the shoot a little, was because we wanted to shoot in 2014. Okay. And then we ended up shooting in the summer of 2015, and part of that was because we couldn't find the right actors, and the three main characters of the film, it's this family, so David and his mom So Young and his dad Jin. It was just like we really wanted to make sure that we had the strongest actors possible, people who connected to the characters, and thankfully we found Josa as our lead, as David, and then Harry Kim and Yun Ho Cho. We actually flew them out from Korea. They're theater actors in Korea to like come and do this film here in LA.
I've told you this so many times, but I have to say it again. I really one of the things that meant a lot to me and what made me admire you before I even got to know you really personally as a friend was your determination to really keep it very real, and real as in the language and having, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different ways that you could have gone about that, but you chose to keep it, a lot of the Korean language intact, and people are just going to have to deal with the subtitles. You have to do a little reading, but I mean, the film itself, I hear, is so powerful, and people responded so strongly to it, and so that kind of transcends that whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately people are looking for like interesting characters and interesting relationships, and and where we find this family in this film is it's a tough moment in their lives, and I think it's a moment that we all have gone through at some point.
That's so relatable.
And so I think even though it's like very Koreatown and it's very Korean American, I think that there's something that people can respond to and feel a relationship to.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we were saying with, when we're sitting down, and I was talking with Tae and with Joe, just that it's a really American story. I mean, the minority story, it's the immigrant story, it's a very American story, and that's why it's so important. And I think, again, why hats off to you for going forward and making it. And my other question, like, I think so many people are curious, like, how and when did Sundance come into play with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, the wonderful thing about the Sundance Institute is that they really help foster talent. So I got my short, Tol, first birthday. Tol.
Not doll.
Not doll. Tol. In 2012, I was at the Sundance Film Festival, and while I was there, I met with people from the feature film program.
Very cool.
And they run the Sundance Screenwriters Lab. And so they talked to me about like, oh, do you have any ideas for a feature? And I told them a little bit about Spa Night, and I sent in the script. They really responded to it. I went to the Sundance Screenwriters Lab in June 2013. So they were part of Spa Night from the very beginning. And I was really nervous because just because they've supported the project doesn't mean that they're going to play it, because they support many projects, and it's actually a very small percentage that get to screen at the festival.
And I think that's what there's so much that people don't know about how the selection process or any of that works, that it's like, I just want to reiterate, there's no guarantee that just because you were nurtured by them and helped develop the project, that they're going to choose your project. It's a really competitive.
It's super competitive.
Super competitive. This is Sundance, y'all.
We've talked about it. It's like the Harvard.
It's the Harvard
of film festivals. And it's
props to you, Robert Redford.
I think he's gonna totally watch this.
Yeah, he's totally gonna. We'll tweet it to him. We'll check it out, right? Robin.
At Bob Redford.
Yes.
No, but it's so true that like. With any sort of film, like you hope for something like Sundance, and the fact that it happened for us was huge, and it just gave the film a platform for more people to see it, and I think that to be given that platform, it's like, we're gonna take advantage of it. So like having gone to Sundance, like it was work, like I was really trying to make sure that like people knew about the film, that like I did as much press as I could.
You went on NPR, whatever. It's crazy. I mean, the more that I get to be part of collaboration and work with artists from all different mediums, they're popping up all over the place. I was like, excuse me, you're in the what? And
well, that's the thing that I think is so cool about like Asian American arts, is that like I do really think that like on all fronts, like music, dance, dance especially, like,
oh my God,
like film, like we're really making a lot of headway in each of these different categories. And it's not just about like, oh, like Asians are doctors, or like Asians are lawyers.
Well, that's gotta be a good feeling for you. You're part of that trailblazing group. I mean, it's been a long time coming. There's been so many people working their butts off and working on their crafts, like really, and it's really gaining momentum now. I think that's like the feeling that we're getting. Right?
And I think it's just. We're making a lot of headway. It's still early, but like
it's exciting.
And there's so many people that I met at Sundance, and so many Asian Americans, Korean Americans who are like trying to make, like their film. And I like really hope that like, that there's a full Asian American like cinema culture. That like it's not just like films from Korea or like films from China that we get to see in the theaters. It's like films about Asian Americans.
We out here, you guys.
I know, there's so many of us.
There's so many stories too. And I think that, again, finding that universal element, that's the challenge and the joy of making that film, is bringing that part to life so everybody can connect with it, whether you have lived it or know it or not.
And I think that there's also, people are hungry for like diverse stories, and they want to get a look into a world that they may not be familiar with. And I think that that's a big part of art, is to like be exposed to new things. So, I want to be able to provide that, it's like, I feel like, it's something that, that people are excited to see and want to see more and more of.
So I want to know, the inside scoop on director Andrew Ahn, and as a friend, because we talk so much about what you're doing, all the cool stuff. But what do you watch? Like, what is it that you like to nestle into bed and like Netflix or whatever? What's your go-to stuff right now?
It's so funny because it's like, I watch Netflix when I'm like really tired. Like, it's like I just want something easy. Like I like demolished like 6 seasons of Say Yes to the Dress. It's like ridiculous. And like I watched like a ton of Bob's Burgers, and it's just like funny. It's so different from Spa Night, which is I think maybe what my brain craves.
Yeah.
But it's like I think for me, I really want it's like it's not just like film TV. It's also like trying to like go to plays. See like art exhibitions, like dance performances, like all of that like weirdly kind of feeds into
for sure
to you as an artist and as a filmmaker. And even like it's like a friend will be like, hey, like come get a drink with me, and I'll be like, and there's a part of me is like, what if something happens to me that like inspires a scene in a movie?
Changes my entire life.
You never know. So it's like it's a little bit about that, like to be an interesting artist, to be an interesting filmmaker, you kind of have to be an interesting person.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
be interested
in things. Yeah. To be passionate.
Which is Say Yes to the Dress and Bob's Burgers. FYI. That's awesome though. I didn't know that about you.
So many seasons of this.
Season 6.
They're just like really like you just keep watching.
There's a lot of emotion in it. I've never even watched.
We've talked too long about this.
Move on. My show was Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
So I was just like, and that's funny because I was sick when I watched it. I was like, I need something easy on the soul.
Yeah.
There's just so many shows out right now. It's hard to keep up.
And but that's like the cool thing is that there's so many shows and they're pushing the boundaries for Asian Americans. It's like Master of None, which is like super cool, and you've got shows that are like coming up, and it's like I think people respond to that, and I think that it's people like understanding that like our world is diverse, and the films and the TV that we see should reflect that.
Right, it's diverse and it's relatable. That's the best part, is that I think it's been for us, like for me, being children of immigrants and being Asian American, having like multiple identities, I feel like I felt very connected to a lot of other minorities, even though I don't know all the nuances of their cultures. But there's kind of an automatic connection of like, oh, we're the others. But then kind of realizing that we're all the others in our own way. Yeah. I think that's really fun.
Yeah, I think it's
humanizing.
If we kind of support and promote diversity, for any kind of like group of people, it's going to help another group of people. It's like I think it's really just about having different voices.
Right. So. Well, thank you for contributing yours.
Thank you.
Well, you brought up awesome actors, right? And from across the sea and from local, like friends that are now going to have these opportunities. Like Joe won that Breakthrough Performance Award, which is insane.
It's cool.
And
really cool.
We're all going to see them grow from here, and I'm really excited about that, just to like see where all of you guys go.
Yeah, thank you.
So you've got a lot on your plate right now, but I know that you're already probably going to think of the next project, right?
Yeah, it's like as a filmmaker, you're hungry to keep going.
Yes.
So.
We'll keep watching TV, and we'll regroup, and we'll get updated on Andrew's next favorite show, because then we'll know that it inspired the next great film that you make. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out Coffee Break. Please subscribe to the Kollaboration channel to get more Coffee Break interviews, and also check out our Green Room music series. You can also check out our website, kollaboration.org, for updates on our live events, our blog, and our Collabcast podcast, which is also available on iTunes. Please follow us on social media at Kollaboration. Their links are right below. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you next time.